MineTwin's YouTube channel, where cutting-edge simulation meets daily decision-making. I'm Jacoben, and in today's video we're going to have a look at how to use the scenario comparison functionality found within MineTwin. If the scenarios you want to compare is mostly based on the fleet size, so for example the number of loaders, drills, trucks, etc., we can suggest rather using the fleet sizing analysis. For a video on this, please check the link in the description or the link showing above in the screen right now. Although we will be doing the demonstration today in MineTwin Underground, the scenario comparison functionality is exactly the same in MineTwin OpenPit. Okay, so for today's scenario, let's open up the standard scenario found within MineTwin. So if you click on standard library, click on the demo scenario underground, you'll see that it's a pretty standard underground mining operation. There's some sub-level caving stopes, there are some room and pillar stopes, and we've got our loaders, our cross-docking points or transfer points, and some other pieces of equipment. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to run the simulation until the end and see what the results are and familiarize ourselves with that. Now that the simulation is finished, let's have a look at a little bit of the details. We can see our mining plan is about 450 and we've achieved it, or very close to it, about 1% off. If we have a look at our loaders, for example, we can see high utilization on some items, not so much on the others, and this can be because we've got specific mining areas assigned to our pieces of equipment. If we sort this by the Scholarman mining areas, we'll see that the first one gets used a lot more than the last one, and the same with all our other mining areas as well. And we'll see something similar in our trucks as well. So some of them get used a lot, some of them not so much. We can see there is more than enough trucks in this specific mining area, more than enough trucks in area 2, 3, etc. So one question that we might want to have is, how do we handle the mining area assignment? If we didn't assign specific areas to specific trucks, maybe we can get by with less number of trucks. So for that, you can have a look at the fleet sizing video. So what we're going to do now today is we just want to test the impact of not assigning our pieces of equipment to specific areas. And in order to do that and really test the benefit of not assigning them, we have to increase our plan to something a lot higher to see what is the impact, because even now with the assignments we are getting our plan. So I'm going to go make sure that our scheduling mode is by target, and we're going to go and we're going to increase our target to something exceptionally high. So we're going to put it at 1 million tons. Okay. And now we're going to save this file as our baseline. So create a folder somewhere and save this as your baseline file. Okay, now that we've saved this as our baseline, we can go to our specific trucks, and now we can remove the mine area assignment from each one of them. So we'll click on the first one. We're going to remove the mine area assignment. You can either select all the areas or select none of them. If none of them are selected, it can be assigned to any area. If we've done that to the first one, we can now right click and apply these changes to all the rows, and it will apply this setting to all the visible rows. So if you apply the filter, it's an easy way to make a quick change across numerous data entries. Okay, so we're going to do this for our trucks, and then we're going to save this as a new scenario. So we'll call this no assigned areas to trucks, and we'll save it in the same folder. And we'll do exactly the same thing with our loaders, chargers, drilling machines, etc. And maybe create another scenario where we've deallocated all our pieces of equipment in one go. So I've already done this before we started with the video. So if I now go to our scenario comparison feature here at the top, we can now add in all these scenarios. So if you have a look here, I'm selecting our 6 different scenarios. They show up in the scenario comparison table. And now we need to set up the number of replications that we want to run for these. So to make it more statistically valid, I'm going to run 10 replications for each to make sure that the numbers we're getting are not just due to randomness. And once we're happy with all of this, we can add and remove specific scenarios if we want to, reassign them again. And then once we're happy, we can hit the run button. Now, depending on the hardware configuration of the machine that you're running it on, based on the CPU and the RAM, there might be a number of concurrent simulations running. Typically on these big scenarios, what I do is I have either a standalone computer or we rent out a server to run the scenarios, because it frees up your local computer then for your own activities instead of consuming all the resources to run these scenarios. So what I've done here is we've got the scenario running on our server, and as you can see here, it's completed. And all 6 of them, the results are fairly close. but we can see that if we sort it on our mined mass, that if we didn't assign any areas to our pieces of equipment, that we get the highest output, 530,000. Remember previously our target was 450, we got very close to that. No areas for the loaders, no assigned areas for the chargers, and then our baseline scenario 521,000. So it's about a 19,000 ton difference between the best scenario and our base case. And then very interestingly is our no assigned areas for the drills and for the trucks actually produce worse. So this is one of those instances where the scheduling logic that is applied in the base case, that is used when doing the general scheduling in the mine, is actually producing worse results if we do not allocate our trucks to a specific area. Now, the nice thing about MineTwin being a configurable model for mining operations is that we tend to create custom scheduling and coordination logic for our clients based on their specific needs and circumstances. So the next step, now that we've ran our analysis, is to see if we can get the analysis out for some post analysis work, or we want to share the results. So on any one of these charts, you can always right click and copy to clipboard. This feature is available across MineTwin, and you can paste it then inside Excel or wherever you need to, and the same thing with any table that you see inside MineTwin. If you right click there, you are not only able to apply your filters, etc. You can copy all the data just to your row, your Excel, your cell, or you can view it inside Excel. If you view it inside Excel, it's exactly just the same as copying and pasting it. And the second option is to export your results to Excel. So you'll get a lot more detail with this. So I'm going to save it here as the results. Okay, and once it's done, we can hit the Open Exported File button. And we can see that this time in this Excel export, it's got a lot of summary statistics, costs, stoppages, truck details, drill charges, etc. for each one of our scenarios, for each one of the replications, the summary statistics for each one of your equipment pieces. So that is how you use the scenario comparison functionality. Check out the link for the fleet sizing functionality. If you like the video, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much.